In this video, I am going to show you the exact step-by-step process that we use to create viral home improvement ads, all with AI. So you can create these yourself and run them to get cheap, qualified appointments. Over the last few years, I have managed £30 million in advertising spend, scaling home improvement companies, and a lot of that spend recently has gone towards AI creatives. I have a good understanding of what works and what doesn't. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that 99% of people that use AI for ad creatives are doing it completely wrong. By the end of this video, you'll have our exact playbook for creating professional, conversion-focused ad creatives that actually work, and you'll understand why most AI ads fail, so you can avoid these mistakes and start filling your calendar with qualified leads. Section 1, the foundation. Why are 99% of AI ads garbage? Before we even think about opening an AI image generator, you have to understand one fundamental truth. An AI tool is just an intern. A very fast, a very powerful intern, but it's an intern nonetheless. If you give it garbage instructions, it will give you garbage back. And this is exactly where everyone goes wrong. They jump straight into the execution without doing any of the thinking first. So to create ads with any sort of credibility, you need to build a strong strategic foundation based on 3 core pillars of customer psychology. The first one is their pain points. What is a real tangible pain that your customer is in? It's not just, I need windows or I need a new kitchen. Like, that is not enough pain. That's demand. Key thing is with pain is that pain is what makes people problem aware. And then through becoming problem aware, they then start to become solution aware. And once they're solution aware, they can actually start to think about buying. And some people, they don't recognize the pain that they're in. So if you can figure out a way to bring it to the surface and agitate it, have you ever felt? Do you ever feel? Do you get this feeling when you do this? All of these ways are ways of extracting pain and agitating it. The second pillar is the buying trigger. So what is the event that forces them to take action now? Pain can actually be tolerated for a long time. It's the triggers that really make it urgent for us. The third pillar is customer considerations. So when they're actually in that buying stage, what are they weighing up in their mind? Are they thinking about the price, the quality of the materials, the company's reviews, the quality of their workmanship, how quickly the job can be done, if there's guarantees and financing available? Your ads and your marketing needs to address this head on. Before you write a single prompt about generating an image or writing some copy, you need to map all of this out for your specific service. Let me give you some real examples of how this works for different services. So for Windows, for example, right? The pain points are like drafty rooms, skyrocketing energy bills, winter is coming, their house isn't warm enough, leaking heat, old and ugly looking frames, and the outside noise getting in, for example. The buying trigger might be that their shockingly high bill has arrived, the window seal is broken, winter is coming up, and they realize that they're going to freeze. What are they considering when they're making that buying decision? And this actually is pretty similar across all home improvement services, besides like obviously some specialty stuff. But people are wondering, can you do what you say that you can? So do you have good reviews? Is the workmanship going to be good? Is the quality of work going to be good? Is there financing available? What kind of price would they be looking at? How quickly can the job get done? All of these FAQs, this is what people are considering when they're choosing a vendor. For example, like if we were to go into kitchens, the pain points might be an outdated kitchen, a lack of counter space, embarrassed to have guests over. The triggers will be hosting a family event like Christmas, getting a tax refund, finally having the money to do it. And then the considerations will be the same. And like that, you could do it for any of the home improvement services. Roofing, for example, active leak, missing tiles, moss growth. The trigger is a storm damage, water stains on the ceiling inside the house, you know? All of this to say that you need to nail this for your own offerings first. You need to understand the customer, the product, and the buying journey. The better you can understand the customer and understand where they currently are, the better the advertising messaging that you can create, which is going to give you greater market resonance than any of your competitors and actually allow you to convert better than anybody else. Once you have all of this, and only once you have all of this, can you actually move on to making the ads? That brings us on to section 2, which is the tactical execution. So how to actually create the ads. Now you've done the strategic thinking and you know the customer pain points, you know their triggers, and you know what they're looking for. We can actually get into the fun part, right? Which is we're going to take that strategy and turn it into killer, high converting ad creatives using AI. First, we generate the ideas and the briefs. Then we actually generate the images. So I'm going to switch to a recording of me doing that just about now. All right, so the first tool that we are going to use is an LLM like Gemini or Claude. The goal here is to feed the AI with as much context as humanly possible so it can become an expert on your business. So step 1 is the content dump. I want you to open up a new chat and just dump everything that you have in your business in here. So I'm talking about your website copy, your customer reviews, case studies, the script for any ads that you've done, pictures of completed jobs, any kind of content that you produce. The more context that you give it, the better the output will be. So here is a way that you can get your context. So for example, I'm going to use Anglian, who for example are one of the biggest window companies here in England. So I could take this link, new project, Anglian windows. And here I'm just writing a prompt to basically give an idea of what it is that I'm trying to achieve. Here's actually a pro tip, is that instead of having to write it, you can just dictate to the AI by using a voice-to-speech tool. So for example, I'm going to do this. Around Anglian windows, I'm going to put in a load of case studies, their website, give you all of the context, and ideally what I want you to spit out is briefs for Gemini so that I can use that to create static ads for Anglian in order to convert people to leave their details to get new windows installed in their home. So now here you got this memory thing, right? So you can add files, you can add text context, you could call this website, content, you can find all of their reviews. They got 40,000 reviews. You can actually just take this and put this in here as well. So now here I'm just looking for any other stuff that we can put in here. See the YouTube. Now, step 2 will be to actually create the ad brief. So once I've fed all the context into there, I'm going to ask it to generate the actual ad concepts. So here's a prompt that you guys can use. Based on all the context I provided, act as a direct response marketer. Give me 10 static ad briefs for Facebook with a dimension of 1080 by 1080. The ad should focus on the pain point, and you'd add your pain point here. So I'll get rid of this. And then here I'd add additional context. So remember, Anglian is one of the biggest window companies in England. Leverage their authority. Make sure that you go and you research and use all the context as well as your own preliminary research to understand everything about Anglian as a brand, what their unique selling points are, and why they are the best choice for any homeowner that wants to replace or install new windows. I'd actually stop this for a second and just add, I'm going to use this brief to brief Gemini to create the static ad creatives. So bear that in mind and make sure that you give me a brief that I can put directly into Gemini to get the best result possible. And then I go hits, and then I will let this run, and then I will come back when it is done. Okay, so Claude has come back. He's given me 10 static ad briefs. What's really important as well is that you review these. You don't want to just take it as gospel. Remember what I said, that the AI is an intern. So you wouldn't just let an intern just do something without reviewing it first. So you want to review these and make sure that they're coherent and they actually make sense. What this has done is it has spit out 10 distinct concepts for the ads. It gives ideas in terms of the copy, the imagery, the overall angle. And that brings us to step 3, which is to actually generate the AI images with the Paint framework. And for this, we're going to use an AI image generator. We use Nano Banana, but you can also use Gemini, and it will give you some banger outputs. So first, let's review what the AI spit out. So ad brief 1, the leaky money visual, split screen image, all drafted window, visible condensation of 1 frames, £20 notes with the blow-away graphs, color scheme, a body copy. Okay, this is pretty good. See how they've got the USPs here. This is decent. This one, see the winter is coming. It's February. Actually, spring is coming, so I probably wouldn't use the winter is coming one. 60-year authority badge. This one's good. This is good. Now we can take this and put it into the AI image generator. I'm going to pull up Nano Banana, which is also part of Gemini, which is why I told it to brief in Gemini. And the secret here is not just to write a single prompt, but it's to use something called the Paint framework. Now, this is a detailed, structured prompt that tells the AI exactly what to create, leaving nothing to chance. So instead of just saying a photo of a drafty window, you're going to get super specific. So here's how you structure the prompt. You're going to take one of the briefs from the previous step and feed it into the AI. but you're going to ask it to use this detailed framework. Now, take brief 1 and turn it into a detailed image generation prompt using the paint framework below. Be as specific as possible to generate a professional, photorealistic image. Do not invent any non-factual information. And then you paste in the framework. So, boom, I am going to take this in, and then I'm going to post in the framework, which will be available in the description of the video, which has the photography style, the subject, the setting, the color palette, the composition, the artistry and emotion, the text overlay, and we're going to go boom. And we're going to wait for this to do its thing. Look at the level of detail of this. Let me just use the first brief without anything. Copy this, put it into here. Now this takes a little second, so you will have to wait just a little bit for this to do it. Here it is. It's not in the right format for Facebook ads, number 1. It looks okay, but this looks like pretty fake. It's not really that high quality. So let's try again and let's use the actual brief. And I will come back and see what it says. Now, you might think that this doesn't look much different from this, right? But you have to understand that the subtleties between these things make a big difference on the actual advertising platform. This looks fake. It isn't in the right thing. And although it has the CTA here, it's going to actually on the platform, we already have like a built-in CTA. So it's just going to look messy. If we try to upload this into Facebook, it isn't going to format correctly. Whereas like, if you look at this one, this actually looks like somebody's genuinely home. It's got the A++ rating here. The headline is a lot clearer. This one's here. Look at the heat that's coming off here. And then it's also got this at the other side of it. This image tells such a better story than this one. And if you use no brief at all, and you just said, generate me an image for selling windows, and you just use something like this, then you get an even worse image, right? But this is really the power of the paint framework. The best part about this is that instead of relying on freelance photographers or editors, that you can generate dozens of these variations in minutes and have full control on exactly what the outputs are. You could change the headline of this, you could change the images, different offers. The person that tests more is the person that wins. And that is the playbook when it comes to creating high converting home improvement ads with AI. Bear in mind, this isn't a magic bullet. It requires you to do the strategic work up front. But if you're a home improvement business owner and you're ready to have a predictable system for filling your calendar with qualified appointments, then this is the path. I hope it all made sense. Now, I really want to get into section 3, which is what can you replicate and what can't you replicate? We need to be real with ourselves for a second. You can replicate this framework. You can do the strategic thinking. You can use the paint framework to generate the actual incredible images, and you can test the hooks and the offers yourself, right? But what you probably can't replicate is the speed and the volume that a dedicated team can. At my agency, Stratus, we quite literally do this every single day. We've regularly gone from onboarding a client to having all of their ads live in less than 5 days, even if they have absolutely nothing set up. We're in ad accounts daily, we're monitoring performance, identifying bottlenecks, and scaling what works across dozens of clients. There's a 99% chance that we're already familiar with what's working in your niche. While you can absolutely use this framework, and I encourage you to use this framework and improve your ads, the real secret to scaling is relentless high tempo testing and optimization. So if you want to work with somebody that has generated over $100 million in revenue for our clients, that knows what works and has a team of killers to come in and handle everything for you, from the offer to the funnel to the ads to managing your entire growth system, click the very first link in the description to learn more and book a call with me. If time is a bottleneck for you and you don't want to spend the time that it takes to learn all of the technical behind the scenes stuff to run your ads as optimally as possible, then this is definitely for you. But if you want to just keep learning, that's absolutely fine as well. You can click here to check out my next video where I break down Alex Hormozi's best advice on Facebook advertising and learn what one of the greatest advertisers of the last decade has to say about creating, running, and scaling Facebook ads. So you can apply the same techniques that he's used to grow and scale your business as well. And I'll see you on the next one.